Good.
Yeah, they were real good. All right. Well, I've been recording for a minute, so let's kick it off like this, man. I always say like I never do like intros justice, or
Sure.
people, you can spoil a whole podcast by me just saying something that's just like, oh yeah, cool, yep, that's me.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of open up the floor to you. Just tell us and me a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Gabi Olmedo. I am Milwaukee born and bred. I yeah, Milwaukee's where I've been from. Milwaukee's where I'll probably stay. But grew up in the south side of Milwaukee. Have all my family here. A lot of my friends are still here too. Went to Market High, and then went to college for 2 years. And after 2 years, I just figured out that school wasn't for me.
Yeah,
So took a different course.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with that,
Different
man.
route.
So I want to hop on school right away. Why did you choose to stop going to school?
Yeah, so I went to an all boys Jesuit middle school, and then I went to an all boys Jesuit, high school, Marquette High. I wasn't the greatest of students. I liked to learn, but I just did not like the testing, constant studying stuff that I didn't really want to study, or learn. And so went to college, started my freshman year at Cardinal Stritch. I was able to go to that school. It's a really expensive school, for with grants and some scholarships. So I attended my first year at Cardinal Stritch, and then got too expensive. So I transferred over to UWM, started my second year, and towards my second year, I think I started to discover that maybe school was just not my route. I had been holding some odd-end jobs since I was 15. I was working once at my uncle's foundry that's not too far away from here. So for 2 summers, I was doing that, just doing crazy work, just not fun. And then I bounced over to do some unloading. I was a package unloader at FedEx. So that was a third shift, kind of first shift job. I'd go in at 2 a.m, hop out at 7, and then I'd go to school. I'd go to class. But within that time frame, I kind of figured out that I loved to work. Anything that it was, I liked to do, whether it was at the foundry or whether it was at FedEx unloading trailers for the packages. So I left school and I found an opportunity, Steffen's Soccer, which is a local mom and pop shop, not too far. Had a location up in the Fox Point area. But I used most of the time I worked at the Southside location.
Oh, okay,
So I got 6 years of experience in retail. So that's where I stuck around from about 2012 to about 2018 is when I was working retail. So I just liked the work environment. I didn't really fall in love with the money. I didn't really care for a high or a low paycheck. I mean, having money is great, to buy what you need. But that wasn't my motivation to start working and then maybe, grow my way and make more money. It was just, I liked working, whether it was, like I said, a not so great job or something that was actually pretty good. I enjoyed my time there.
Yeah.
I definitely did. So, yeah, I just figured out that school wasn't really what I felt like I wanted to do. And so the workforce was what grabbed my attention more.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. I feel like we're seeing that a lot more these days, where people are kind of not even realizing while they're in school, but just not going to school in general. It's like you said, Stritch is way too expensive. I got my master's degree from Stritch, so I know it's like it's expensive, and it's like most of the time, like your return on investment from a college degree is sometimes not worth it unless you're going into a medical field or something like that.
Yeah.
But then you need continued education and putting yourself in more and more debt,
Right.
to make more money. But it just kind of like balances out at the end. What were you studying?
So my first year, I was at Cardinal Stritch. I was studying computer science.
Okay.
I really loved computers. I was a person that my aunts and my mom would contact to go fix their computers, whether it was just opening the disk drive or installing the mouse, installing the keyboard. I mean, I went and did it. My second year, I transferred over to UWM, and I studied graphic design. I knew a little bit of what I liked during my high school. During my high school time, I really enjoyed graphic design, Photoshop, Illustrator, kind of creating. I do a little bit that I'd like to create. So my second year, I went into UWM studying graphic design, and obviously I only went for I think it was only a semester of my second year. did a few art classes, and then that's when I kind of dipped out and started working. But yeah, I was doing computer science and graphic design, so almost similar. In computer science, we were designing calculate. We were writing code for calculators. And then graphic design, we were, creating posters and creating flyers and anything, graphics we were working on. So I really enjoyed that part. I really enjoyed the creating side of all that. So.
And that's something you've continued on, continuing to do until today.
Yeah.
What kind of puts you in that creative space? What kind of made you decide like, hey, like I want to be some sort of creative, also while working, also while being in the workforce?
So during my time at Steffens, I was a sales associate, a retail manager, but I also was in charge of running social media. And so my first, I guess, creative outlet was running a Twitter account for them, where I kind of had free reign to, tweet what I wanted to tweet and kind of create any sort of graphics. So during my time there, the memes were kind of taking off a little bit, and a lot of pop culture was really relevant or correlated with Twitter. So we would create, like one of the examples was the Kanye West album. He had, we recreated it and turned it into like a soccer thing.
Oh, that's dope.
We would Photoshop different signage into different pictures, and that would, kind of boost followers, and our audience would grow. So that outlet kind of really kind of propelled what what is now, and running the social media and designing all that, not really by myself, but somewhat I had my own hand in it. Kind of led to want to create a little bit more, and then after knowing that we did well running that account for a few years, I kind of wanted to see what else I could do. So things changed at work. Roles kind of changed as well. Positions kind of changed. And so I let go of the Twitter account, and then just focused on the retail side. But then slowly I started to kind of create for the city. It's going to be actually a crazy story, but I essentially created 30 shirts and gave them to all the homies for free. And what I knew I probably shouldn't have done, I still did. I created all the shirts at my workplace, which is a big no-no. But I gave them all away for free, and that's how kind of everything got started. But still using the social media platform, I used Twitter, I used Instagram. We kind of launched our first campaign, just like real guerrilla, just going out there, getting them to people in a very unique way. We bagged them all in lunch bags and stamped them with for the city on them, and people just started taking notice. So that's where I started to take off. That's where For the City kind of took off.
Where did that idea come from?
I've always had a real big fascination for the city. I love the city. Like I said, I've been born and bred in Milwaukee, and I just wanted to have something. I wanted to have something here and see what I could do with. And so I bought a Target hoodie, and at my old job, they had all the machinery, they had all the vinyl, they had everything. And so I just took it upon myself, created this 414 stamp. The first design was a little bit bigger than what we have now, but printed that at work and posted it on social media one day, and people started asking questions. There weren't too many people wanting it, but they were asking questions like where I got it, how they can get it. So I kind of fed off what that did, and thought, well, let's just see if we can sell some, if we can make more, and where to go get them done. So went through that entire process, and within I think 3 or 4 months time, we created the first shirt and started selling. So,
jeez, that's nuts. And kind of looking at how it, what it has evolved into today is pretty crazy. I guess
it is crazy. So we launched back in April of 2018 with the very first shirt, and within a 2 weeks period, we sold over 100 shirts, all black shirts, just basic as you can get, black with white printing. Sean over at Dream Lab is the spot where we just had our launch. He let me kind of pop up in his store, in his cafe, sorry, over on the south side on National Ave. Walked in, said, "Hey, I got these shirts. Can I move them here?" And he's like, "How many do you got?" And I was like, "I got 160." And he's like, "When do you want to do it?" So he was down from the get-go. Yeah. And so, yeah, we posted up one Saturday. I think it was a Saturday morning. And we ran through, probably that day, we probably ran through about 50 shirts. But all together in 2 weeks, we sold over 100. And that's when I took a step back and just, it was like, man, maybe we can do more. Maybe the next time we put out more, our goal, I didn't have high expectations. I didn't really have expectations. Maybe if I do this again, we'll sell some more, we'll move some more, we'll get him to more people. And so, yeah, calendar year of 2018 is essentially when I started working for the city. I started definitely pushing and creating and designing and developing shirts and posting them and getting them to friends. So 2018 was a good year, but 2019, just within a year. So I left calendar year of 2018 for my old job. So from September 2018 to September 2019, the growth has just been awesome.
How's the brand evolved since 2018? I know, like you said, a little bit, like logos have changed and things like that,
Yeah, I think more than anything, just from a business standpoint, I wanted to make it sound like it's a legit, company. But from a business standpoint, so the people that we talked to within the start, and even during 2019, we talked to other local store owners about just numbers, about how can we create something maybe even a little bit cooler, but within that, it's like, how do we create something that also costs less and we can sell for more? So having those conversations with local business owners, having conversations with friends about their experience, getting to meet other brand owners as well, shaking hands with them. We've definitely grown more, I think, on a business side. I didn't go to school for business, obviously, but understanding numbers and understanding, trends as far as how many mediums sell compared to larges, how many smalls compared to extra smalls. Do we need youth sizes? So we definitely ran at our own pace to kind of figure out. We didn't want to do too much right away, because then I think we probably would have got lost in everything.
Yeah.
So we took it at our own pace to definitely understand almost A to Z. And so within that year, we've done a lot. We've grown to the point where now we can actually put more money in, put more money back in to continue to grow and continue further what I want for the city to become. I don't want people to look at it as another shop. I want people to come and experience what For the City is, which is just a lot of hard work and just having a lot of fun.
Definitely. Man, that's so, I think the business aspect of everything is one thing no one thinks about right when they start a business, which it's kind of backwards, but I think you taking it at your own pace and learning right away. The first conversation I've had with someone who's done a clothing line or anything like this, you don't hear them talking about, well, I had to figure out how many, medium sell compared to how many smalls, compared to how many extra smalls to figure out how much to order for each size. That's something that takes time and it's a learning curve, but definitely is. It definitely worked out well for you, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we needed to do, so that going into bigger projects, for example, the project that we're part of now, which is Pop-Up MKE, had we not gone through what we went through the past year and a half, knowing, all right, this is how many units we can sell in a week, or what we sold in 2 weeks, how do we order that, or how do we get that cost down so that maybe we can continue? Because yes, business is a numbers game, it's a money game, but that was never the motive for what I wanted for the city to be. But you kind of have to understand that, to know ordering, to know printing costs. It all kind of just comes back to that. But we're not big business people. We just I kind of keep a lot of mental notes, and I feed off of people. I feed off of who's coming in, who's wearing what they want to what they want to wear, and how they're wearing it. And so there's a lot that goes into that, but definitely learning trends, definitely helped.
I would say that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So how was your experience kind of like in the workforce help propel you in creating for the city?
Yeah. So retail, I mean, I'm doing the same thing essentially. Retail and then now selling my own product instead of selling something for somebody else. So at Stephen Soccer, I was selling soccer apparel and soccer shoes and you name it, soccer equipment. But I sponged a lot of what the selling part of it was, or in the buying part at Stephen's, and that's what helped me transition over and create for the city to know where to go get these shirts, who to go take them to get printed, what I need to order so I can get them, either faster or cheaper. So I sponged a lot of what Stephen Soccer did or does still. They do a lot of big team uniforms for a lot of soccer clubs in the Wisconsin area and, even outside of Wisconsin. So learning how to buy that or learning how to sell them in bulk, you got to buy shirts, shorts, and socks. But that's essentially how I learned how to, garner up orders, invoices, creating invoices, paying invoices. You got to pay your invoices.
Oh yeah, you can't not pay.
You can't not pay. So, paying your invoices, how to talk to people, how to talk to someone with respect and as a customer, showing them that customer service. That's what people love, and that's what they all preached. I mean, that's something that everybody should preach, is how to treat a customer, but also how to treat them as a person and how to treat them nicely, because that's what goes a long way for these people.
Oh yeah,
and has them come back.
That's your brand. Right there. Like your customer service is your brand. We see a lot of companies. I mean, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but a lot of companies in Milwaukee that, they're selling X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Their customer service is god awful. And it just leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
Yeah, no, I made it a thing since working at Stephen, so almost 7 years of being told, customer service is what gets people to come back to you. And providing that service will lead to sales. And so being nice to people. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy listening to what people want to do themselves. That's also a big thing, is that most of the people that do come into to the pop-up right now, or at least we meet, all have something that they really want to do. And those conversations sometimes turn into reality. So some friends now are starting their own thing, or wanting to go after their own thing. So, treating people with respect. They're not just your customers; they become part of your community. And I think, what we want to do as well is just continue to, be able to give back to that community, and even to the community of Milwaukee. It's just continue to have that be something that we do, something that's part of for the city, for sure.
Oh man, one thing that I had written down was sense of community, and just kind of like doing some research and like on you and just like on your Instagram page, looking at everything, like you have a very strong sense of community around you.
Yeah.
Like it seems like you and like everyone you're tagged in photos with are all entrepreneurs. You guys are all supporting all supporting each other, which is amazing. How has that helped you?
I think, man, more ways than one, obviously. I think I can go both ways but I'll start with the more, maybe more the mental side of what the, entrepreneurship is. It can be a very lonely place. You can be definitely in your own world for a very long time, and it can be hard to kind of get out of that space sometimes. But those guys are great. Their friendship is definitely needed. We have a producer, graphic artist, muralist. One of my friends is a photographer. One of them is a small, restaurant owner, taco shop owner, taco truck. Sorry. Those guys definitely inspire me, but they also help. We also try to help each other out in the best that we can. Timing sometimes just doesn't work out, but if they need shirts, they know who to go to. If we need something drawn up or illustrated, we know who to go to. If we need a photo shoot, we know who to go to. If we want something to eat, we know where to go. It's those guys. That group is just very inspiring. They do more than I can ask for sometimes. One of my friends, really best friends. She helps a lot too. She's kind of the right hand person to what For the City is, either work wise, but also as just being a friend, being someone to listen to. I think I talk about For the City, every day, almost every hour, every minute. And so the feedback is essential. Even just small input, hey, this maybe you shouldn't do this, or hey, maybe if this looks different, or just change it up. That's crucial, and it's needed. So that group, it's a solid group. Michael, Karen, Jesus, Eddie, Bryant, they also got a podcast too. Christian, Alexa, even my family, I consider them part of the team as well. So without them, sometimes I'd go crazy. And so they kind of help the craziness, with what For the City is sometimes. And just when they can, they help out. And I'm super appreciative of that. So that group is awesome. I can't stop talking about them. And a lot of what they do and a lot of what I do, yeah, some of it couldn't have been done without them. And some of that couldn't have been done without us. So it's a solid group for sure.
That's amazing, man. That's kind of like the living proof of surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah.
Honestly, just looking with everything that you just named.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing.
Yeah. Growing up, our mindsets, as we grow up, our mindsets change, Once you turn 21, you want to go out and hang out with your friends, and have fun. But as you get older, you start to sit down and realize what maybe is more important, or what you really want to do, or what defines you as a person. And so I kind of had that reality check in 2015. My eyes just opened up crazy with the passing of my grandma. And
Sorry, man.
From 2015 on, it's just been, literally my eyes opened up and I saw what I wanted to do and what I should be doing, what I felt like I should be doing. And so it takes something kind of crazy to happen to then kind of figure out, okay, maybe this is what I want to do now, So, it's just a little bit off a tangent there, but it something like that sometimes just has to happen, And now, 2020, beginning of 2020, For the City is going, and it continues to grow. So.
Yeah,
it's good.
I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother, man.
It's all good,
I'm
man.
pretty sure she's definitely watching down on you. And, it's definitely probably one of the forces behind, making that brand grow like crazy.
No, and I don't think I've told too many people about this story, but you've seen the colors of the design. It's yellow, blue, red, green. So for a month straight, we were in the hospital just with my grandma and at her bedside. And so I bought a Rubik's Cube. I'd never kind of attacked something to try to learn, in the way that I did this Rubik's Cube. Yeah, there's YouTube, and I did do the YouTube thing, but just remembering those move sequences, the analogy of going from something not perfect or not set to going and getting it set. There's a bunch of ways you can get that done, and so. It's exactly with For the City. There's a bunch of ways that we can get to where we want to be with it, but it's just a matter of continuously working at it. And so that's kind of where I was inspired to take the colors from. So that Rubik's Cube,
That's dope, man.
has all those colors. And like you said, yeah, it was a hard time in 2015, and For the City definitely grew from kind of that point on. But I'm still implementing a lot of my, I'd say experience, personal life, into For the City. And so those colors are part of the Rubik's Cube, which takes me back to that time. But, without them, I wouldn't be here, and without, them, I wouldn't be here to do For the City. And so that lineage is what I fall back on and kind of motivates me to continue doing, For the City.
Yeah,
so,
dude, that's a crazy story.
Yeah,
It's those small pieces, man, that kind of like start to like build and build and build, and it's just like
some of my close friends know that, but not. Once this video comes out, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but yeah, that's kind of where it stems from. Yeah, it's just been great.
Oh man. I don't know why I was blanking for a minute. Let's listen to the whole thing. But I was listening to one of the another podcast that you did maybe I don't know if it was I guess it was almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
And you said you have to create your own opportunities. Is that something like you've been instilled in you like your entire life? Or is that something you just like at one point in 2015, you realized like, damn, if I want something, I got to start creating it?
Yeah, no, I still do that. I mean, I still do it now. You do have to, if you want to continue to, to pursue your dream or grow what your business or what your craft is. To this day, I'm still, handing out free hoodies. I'm handing out free shirts to grab people's attention, or that's kind of how I shake hands with people sometimes, is I give them a free shirt or I give them a free hoodie so that they remember me. It's a little more costly than just handing out a business card, but it's definitely gone a long way. So yeah, even to this day, I kind of put myself out there and even cold message artists, people that I want to work with. For example, Raina, who's a sister duo here in Milwaukee, and Grace Weber as well, Webster X. It's just been cold messaging these people, letting them know, hey, this is what I do. Can we get you something? Can we get you in this shirt? Can we create this video for you? I don't ask for too much in return. I just really want to work, and like I've said, I've always just wanted to work. And so, yeah, creating those opportunities just sometimes takes a message, sometimes takes going to an event or a meeting when you don't feel like it. That's how you continue to grow. And like I said, being a nice person. The people that I've met are definitely nice people as well. All the people that I just named are great people. But you kind of just have to jump to be able to grow what you are doing. So take those Instagram messages and slide in there. Go to those meetings, do these podcasts. I don't do too many. I think this is actually the third one that I do, but definitely connect. And it's gonna sound cliche, but go for it. For real.
Oh, I appreciate you doing the podcast, man. I think your work ethic amazes me.
Thanks.
How old are you? 20, 24?
I'm 21.
21.
No, I'm not 21. My birthday was Sunday.
Happy birthday. You
thanks.
Just turned happy birthday, man.
Last week.
Congrats.
Last week Sunday. No, I turned 20.
Sunday.
I turned 28. And that's the truth. Thanks,
you're 28?
I'm 28.
Oh, I'm 28 too, man.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Now I don't feel too bad.
I
feel like I've had people who are like, oh yeah, I'm 21.
I've been joking
I'm 22.
with everybody.
I'm like, what? You can pass for 21.
I appreciate it. No, I love work. That, like I said, I can't say it enough. I love working. It's whatever it has been and whatever it's going to be. I mean, I don't know what for the city is going to become, but I'm definitely ready for it.
Yeah.
A lot of what I'm ready for is because of experience these past 2 years. And that's sometimes what you need. It's just that experience.
Oh yeah.
That's going to tell you a lot about who you are, what you're capable of, what your body can physically handle, what your mind can mentally handle. That's going to make you grow into, the person that you want to be, or the person that you already are.
I admire you, dude. That's the truth. You see a lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs, and they have all these crazy ideas about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then they end up doing nothing, which is kind of insane. But I mean, I guess it's the work ethic.
Yeah.
Like what you said, you have to create your own opportunities, and just kind of, building off of that. Like, we see Milwaukee as just such an interesting place. There's a lot of people trying to create brands. There's people who are creating brands, creating clothing brands. Yeah. I've seen your brand more than I've seen almost anything out of Milwaukee. What do you think sets you and what do you think sets For the City apart from everything else? Is it because it's for the city, or?
So For the City, I mean, what Milwaukee Home did. So let's just kind of take it back. And Milwaukee Home, the brand Milwaukee Home, kind of created that avenue for very Milwaukee focused, Milwaukee inspired apparel. And I think we have to, tip our hats to that entire team, or to the entire group of people who did that. Because I don't know anything. I guess I don't know if I'm too young or just, I don't know. But kind of having that avenue created, there wasn't anything else that I remember before that. And so Um, what they did was impacted the city in different ways. They collaborated with a bunch of people. They created storefronts. So I think for the city, because it was 414 inspired, or it's so focused, it was kind of easy in a way. People especially people from Milwaukee, Milwaukee inspired apparel. And so knowing that, it was kind of just a small cheat code to how to grow rather quickly within the community or within Milwaukee. If it has 414 stamped on it, people are going to like it. But I definitely took mental notes on how do I gear this towards not being so much of, I'm from Milwaukee or I just visited Milwaukee, to more, I am this in Milwaukee. I'm a podcast, owner or interviewer in Milwaukee. I'm a photographer in Milwaukee. I'm a producer in Milwaukee. I'm a blogger in Milwaukee. Focusing more on the work that we have to go through to create that Milwaukee business or that small business is where I think For the City differentiates from a lot of the other brands. I'm not very fashionable. I come in a gray hoodie, jeans, and sneakers, and a Milwaukee Brewers cap everywhere I go. But I think what sets For the City apart is people see the work that's getting put in. People see that it's real. I'm not trying to be so exclusive. I do create pieces in smaller bunches and smaller amounts, but it's all encompassing. If you want to stop by the store, you can. If a 13-year-old girl who goes to an all-girls school, which we can talk about later, if she wants to go with her parents to the store because she likes the brand, she can go. If you're from the north, south, west, wherever you're from, you can go. Because you fall in love with the hustle of what that brand is doing.
Yeah.
And so I think what separates us is definitely the work ethic more than anything, is that we're real about what we're doing. We're not trying to kind of steal your money with the stuff that we sell. We definitely take our time in sampling these pieces and going through the designs with the screen printers and embroiderers that put our design on pieces. So we go into detail, we put the work in, we put the time in, we spend the money, we invest the money to get these pieces to test, and then finally say, okay, let's try these things out. So I think, the hard work behind the scenes is definitely what I believe has made For the City so, I don't want to use successful, but has definitely grown rather quickly.
Yeah.
From 2018 to the first 5 days of 2020. We definitely experienced that. We definitely learned a lot, and that's kind of what you have to go through. You kind of have to go through that.
Yeah.
It's going to require a lot of work to then, be put here.
Yeah.
And so
you just got to maneuver those, like the traps. You got to, you got to make mistakes right away to learn.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then it's just kind of like,
and I feel I'm not that I say I'm looking forward to those days, but those days are definitely the days that you learn most about yourself, about your business, about just about everything. So not that I look forward to those days, but I challenge myself. And when those times do hit, it's about adapting. Is how do we go from where we are to now where do we want to be tomorrow, or even just a few hours from now? That's my mind's always constantly going with that stuff. And so, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of challenges, a lot of hurdles. There's going to be people that say they don't like your stuff. There's going to be people that say your stuff's too expensive. Your stuff has to grow, has to mature to be able to sell it at what you're selling at. But to this day, I think from 2018 to now, we've sold a lot of pieces that starts to become it starts to become just I want to get that now. It doesn't become it's not a second guess. Oh man, this is a little too out of my budget, or I can't get it. Now it's like now we need to get that For the City hoodie. Now we need to get that For the City crew neck. And that's just a product of hard work. So
Yeah, man, I got to get the gray crew neck. I need it. I need it. That's so dope.
Yeah.
I saw that online a few days ago, and I'm like, damn, I got to get that one. And I meant to message you, but I was just like, I had so much going on. I'm like, damn it, I forgot.
That's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll figure it out. I got to stop by the shop soon, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Lost my train of thought really quickly because I wanted to backtrack on something where you're just talking about adapting, and I'll kind of just cut what I said before, but I'll add this in there. It's like when it comes to adapting, it's something that I feel like it should be second nature, but for some reason, like it's not.
Yeah.
It's just like for me personally, when I started this podcast, all of a sudden, like I'm just like listening to this stuff, and I'm listening to it back. I'm having my fiance listen to it back, and she's like, "Damn, dude, shut the hell up." It's like you're constantly talking, or like you feel like your words are so important that you got to speak over someone to get like the next question out before like they answer the next question, where you just got to like, just shut up, let the person talk, and let the conversation build. So I feel like adapting it's key. Yeah. And once you have it, like once you maneuver one tricky situation, everything becomes so much easier.
I mean, it's kind of like that saying, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You know,
you got it.
In a way. But this is business. This is the brand. And so learning to go from a situation that maybe you forecasted to be a little bit differently, does not go the way you planned it, to then, all right, well, what do we got to do next? And so we did Mexican Fiesta this last year now. We created the official shirt. So myself, along with Alexa and Michael, he rendered out what the design that was put on the shirt. So the front and the back. We came up with the concept and the idea. It passed the Mexican Fiesta, board, and so we printed 700 shirts. We handled over 700 shirts, and so we went into the first day thinking maybe we can sell them at this. Saw that, but maybe it wasn't going as well as we thought it would. We regrouped, opened back up on Saturday, and we started moving a lot more. And there's a lot of things that kind of went into why Friday was the way Friday was and why Saturday was the way Saturday was. But going from Saturday to Sunday, we knew something had to change, but we weren't raising red flags. There wasn't any emergency. It was just, let's do what we know we can do and start doing that, now. And so, we definitely moved a bunch of shirts Saturday, and then we definitely moved a bunch of shirts Sunday. And so that experience paid off, literally, because we were able to move over just a little over 500 shirts. But all in all, it was just about that experience. It's about learning this is what we need to do one day and this is what we need to do another day. And so that part of that experience was what we bank on, so that the next time we do something similar, or if we do that again next year or this year, well, we know what to do now. And so adapting is crucial. I think adapting and knowing when maybe to change the game plan up, you kind of have to have that,
I agree.
In order to kind of make your way through the cracks and crevices that what business is, I guess. Just how to maneuver through that. So adapting is crucial.
It's key, man.
Yeah.
It's key. You got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to think on your feet when you see something's not going. You got to be like, all right, backtrack. What led us here? Yeah. How can we fix it?
You don't want to
change it.
Yeah, you don't want to put that. You don't want to close that door on yourself.
No.
You should want to continue to go through those doors, and sometimes you just got to jimmy it a little bit differently to kind of get through it. And once you get through it, well, you've learned how to do it now. So take that and continue to. If you need some other event or situation occurs, you know how to handle it.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. So with this brand, you kind of built a team around it. I'm pretty sure you have like a few people that you employ that help you out a lot. How big of a learning curve was that from just going to managing yourself to sort of like managing a few other people?
Yeah, so I'll backtrack there and kind of correct you, but I don't have any employees yet. Okay. I just have a really strong group of friends and a really strong family. I can't thank either of them enough for the help that they've given me. But Um, it all starts with being a good person. Help them, they'll help you. Be a fam. I love my family. I'm not gonna lie. I love being around them. So when I need something, they're there for me. So in some ways, they are my kind of employees because I do, treat them to lunch or treat them to dinner. Because it's those small things go a long way. My best friend who's not here, but if anything, she does more than me sometimes. But it's finding that group of people. It's finding those group of friends, finding those groups, like, your family, having your family back you up, love what you're doing. They'll ride along with you for sure. And so, it's just crucial. Have your friends, have your family help you out where they can. I know that's not always the case. You can't always, count on that. But I'm hoping that one day I can employ a small core. I don't want to have too many people. I want to keep it small and tight. But it takes a while. Nothing is overnight. For the city continues to grow nicely, but there's still stuff that we have to figure out to be able to get to that point. I'd love to employ, my best friend, or have her own part of the pie, but it takes a while for you to learn how to do that and correctly do that. And so we'll get there. I think I'm looking at For the City now, and I think there's a long road for it. And I'm hoping that along that road, I'm able to kind of carry or kind of tag along with my friends and family and maybe open doors for them and let them do what they want to do. But nah, man, that group, those people are definitely what help me through a lot. So
yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
misspoke. Maybe I just,
No,
I kind of
mean,
just like jumped to conclusion there.
No, I wish I could employ all of them. I wish I could.
One day, man.
But one day I'll be able to, to have them along and provide. And I'd love to have them all along this ride and this journey. And who knows? Who knows what the future is holding for us? But I think it's going to be good.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
Speaking about the future, man, what's in store? Like, what's going to be next? What are some big things you have going on in 2020?
Man, so I had a really great 2019. We had a lot of stuff that we worked on. So Mexican Fiesta was a project that we work on. I think Mexican Fiesta and For the City was the first kind of collaboration to create their official merchandise. So we went from designing to picking the shirt, the quality of the shirt, and selling it at Mexican Fiesta for 3 days. So that was definitely a huge moment for us. So on the side, I guess you can say, is we create content as well. And so towards the end of 2019, we created the first music video under the For the City banner with Reina.
Oh, dope.
And so we shot it and we edited it. I think it took us about 5 days, but we edited it in my living room, my mom's living room. So that was huge too. I'd never shot and edited a music video. But 2020 is, there's a lot in 2020 that I want to do. Still haven't set up the calendar for what's going to release in 2020 under the brand. But right now it's just a pop-up. So the pop-up we've been at, we'll be in there for another 2 months on 16th and Washington. So we're selling our fall collection, our fall drop there. We've hosted a few events there as well. So Reina, again, came in and did an acoustic set. We invited Notre Dame Middle School that's on the south side, not too far away from the pop-up shop. So we invited them on a field trip to visit the spot. And we talked about entrepreneurship. We talked about what it takes to run a business. We talked about Alexa actually just came back from studying abroad. So she talked to the girls about her experience and, maybe college isn't for everybody the way it was for me. So other routes, whether it's a trade school, learning something technical. Whether it's one parent showed up and said, you know, if you even want to go to the Army or the Navy or the Marines, like there's different things that we can do. And so, yeah, 2020, we're working on a project now for another artist, Grace Weber. And so that should be rolling out sometime soon. I don't know when. But there's definitely a lot that we want to do. I think we'll do Mexican Fiesta again this year. And hopefully just kind of grow so we can continue towards the goals of even 2021, you know, what we hopefully want to do in 2021. Yeah. So it's just setting ourselves up and working all of 2020 to, you know, just grow a little bit more.
What do you see this turning into long term?
Long term, I think I want to turn it into like an apparel and media company, a small apparel and media company. I love creating content. I love working with artists and helping them out. I may not be the most creative person, but I like to engineer a lot of what people need from me. So whether it's a Photoshop design, whether it's a quick flyer, you know, I like doing that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I think in the future, there's definitely going to be a media side to it. And I think from an apparel standpoint, we're definitely going to have something very experiential. So something, I don't want to sound too cliche, but something different. But we have to go through these days and months before we can even start talking about that, because sometimes it may require a lot of money, and where to go for that stuff. You know, kind of maybe have to go to these classes or kind of take these courses or kind of talk to people and learn, well, how can we actually have this happen? And so I don't want to say too much, but I do definitely want to create the brand into more of an experiential where you can come in and maybe see your hoodie get created, you know, from start to finish. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a dope idea, man.
Because
that's actually pretty sweet.
I definitely want that to happen, and you know, I keep it in so that I can continue working towards it. So we'll definitely have that be an experience soon.
Yeah, you talked a lot about entrepreneurship. Like, how important? Well, first of all, did you ever see yourself being an entrepreneur? And then second, how important do you think entrepreneurship is for the kids in Milwaukee?
Yeah. So growing up, I mean, coming from a Mexican household, Mexican family, you were kind of, they wanted you to do certain things. They wanted you to become doctors. They wanted you to become these professionals in these fields that maybe just aren't for you, and they weren't for me. And so, I knew growing up, I wanted to do something. I wanted to own something. I did know that, but I just didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know what avenue to go and create something for myself, what that was going to entail. So yeah, I had to go through middle school, I had to go through high school, I had to go through those 2 years of college, I had to go through the workforce to kind of realize and say, well, this is exactly what I want to do. I have always had a love for the city. I love where I'm from. My entire family's here. A lot of my friends are here. And I like design. And so I said, well, let me mix both of those together. Shirts and selling shirts and hoodies is sometimes, you know, kind of easy. I like an easier way to get started in that. And that, you know, from 2018 when we first sold our shirts, that's kind of where I began to know that that space is where I wanted to be. And so, yeah, it just took a while. It took a long time to know exactly what I wanted to do. And I can safely say that I'm in a space that I'm comfortable in. I love being in. There's a lot of work that has to be done, but I'm never tired of it. I don't get tired of having to wake up and print 20 shirts, 40 shirts, print hoodies, you know, put the drawstring tips on our hoodies. It's nothing like that now, and I'm very comfortable and I'm happy. And so, you know, to go answer your question, I think it's very important that we motivate kids or even younger adults or even adults older than us. I think even as you get older, there's still something that you want to do. Things change, times change, jobs change. Job situations worsen. You either get company closes, or they just kind of there's budget cuts. I know that there's always something that people want to do. And if we can be an example, or For the City can be an example of that, I mean, yeah, we definitely should invest time into the kids, the young adults, and let them know, hey, it's not going to be the easiest route. It's going to take you giving it as much as you have inside you to get to where you want to be, but you can achieve it. I didn't think I'd be at where I'm at with For the City when I first started. And now within just a little over a year and a half of doing it, we're at this pop-up and we're selling out, so it takes a while, but anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. You just got to put the work in and like it and love it. Have passion for it. Passion's huge. If you don't have a passion for what you're doing, it's going to feel like a job again. And there's going to be days where you don't you're not going to want to do it. And so having a passion for it is definitely what's going to also take you to higher places, or, continue to do some bigger things. Definitely. For sure.
I'm just thinking back to the beginning of the conversation. Like it must feel so surreal. Like not like a year, 2018, like you said, you printed how many 100 so shirts?
Yeah, and
you gave them out to people for free and like a lunch bag.
Yeah.
So like having like a pop-up now.
It's crazy. Yeah. 2018 to 2019 to now the first 5 days of 2020. I mean, I knew that with hard work you could get there. I just couldn't imagine where I would be right now. But I have to thank a lot of the people that do buy and do share and do like, and do kind of help at the shop. I haven't been able to do this all by myself. I do handle a lot of it, but there are a lot of people that, from a social media standpoint, just pushed a post or liked a picture. To everybody that's been part of shoots or video shoots, that stuff goes a long way. But there's a lot of work behind the scenes. There's a lot of contacting. There's a lot of phone calls. There's a lot of emails. I didn't like emails back when I was working at Steffens, and I got yelled at for that.
Yeah.
And now it's something that I have to do every day. But for me, for something I like doing now, and I don't get tired of it, So yeah, definitely looking back, it's been a crazy ride, but I hope that there is going to be more, but I'm hoping that it, just continues to go up, because I can't stop now. I'm too far. I'm too deep into it.
Yeah. Too far in.
Yeah. So 2020 should be fun. Make it fun. Definitely make it fun. Because if it's not fun, then something,
Yeah. What are you doing it
get
for?
Bored. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing it for?
No, just have fun. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. I'll end on that, man. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have any questions, but
anything that I didn't touch on that you want to speak about?
Yeah, I actually got something for you.
Oh shit, you got me the black hoodie?
So
dope.
That's yours.
This is fire, man. I appreciate you.
I've been given, I can't tell you how many times
I like the colors.
I've had to, not have to, but I've given, from the first 30 shirts that I gave away to friends to now, getting shirts to, Webster X or Grace Weber or Raina. You just got to do it. You got to invest to get any sort of, even if it's a small return, at least that people have your stuff, and then the extra is just them wearing it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna rock this, bro.
So I don't got any other questions. I thank you for letting me do my thing here. I think this is the third time that I actually speak on like an interview or have an interview. So I'm just thankful that you brought me along, and let's just keep on going. That's all I ask. Let's just keep on going.
Let's do it, man. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.